Hey everyone, welcome to a comics loving edition of Words, Images, and Worlds. I am delighted on this episode to be talking with comics mastermind Eli Schwab. Eli, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Great to be here.
I'm glad to have you. Thanks for saying yes, and thanks for finding a time to connect. I know that we're going to talk about Cosmic Lion and the variety of books that are published as part of that project, that organization, that dream, and so we'll definitely talk about that. Curious about how you decided that comics were the space for you.
I mean, for me, comics were just always something I loved, something I did, something I created. It was just, it started from youth. My dad is a big comics guy. He was big into Superman and Mad Magazine. And one of the earliest gifts I got, my dad's friends owned a bookshop. I'm
Mhm.
from a small town in Maryland called Cumberland, Maryland, and the book center, they got me this gift, which was like a subscription, like a pull list. And so every week I got to go
Nice.
in and get like a free comic. And it was always like Turtles Adventures or the Archie Adventures or X-Men at that point and all that type of stuff. And so just the ability to go in and get this free comic every week was like so amazing. And I started copying just directly from the comics, like Ren and Stimpy comics. I remember I used to draw out of a lot. And then that just became me wanting to make comics and making my first comics in like middle school. I created this character named Jester Man that started off with just I got this Jester hat at a ski swap thing at the at Seven Springs or like a ski resort where near us.
Mhm.
And that just became me. Like now I'm Jester Man, you know. And then my
Nice.
mom made her this shirt with a J on it, and then I was like, it became my comic book character. And then I made these stories, and I would read them to my friends, at lunch or I don't know. In middle school, there was this thing where like before school, everyone would be in the lunchroom before the teachers were like, all right, come in. So at that point,
Mhm.
I would read all my stories to everyone. And it'd be so cool. I wish now I was like in intuitive enough to be like, let's photocopy these and sell them for 10 cents or something, you know.
Right,
I didn't
right.
do that, but I read them and then that just made me be like, art is what I can do that no one else can do, and I wasn't good at sports and I was, that was the thing that I could do and no one else could. So it just felt really good. And from then on, it was just like, this is the thing that I do and I love.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
But I love the space that you're in. You are surrounded by comics. You're wearing a comics character.
Yeah.
The magazines are stacked behind you, and we have Galactus back there on the wall. I love the space.
Thank you so much. This is my former office space that I'm now changing because Cosmic Lion Productions just recently moved into an office space down the street. So
Hmm.
I'm taking not everything, but most things from here are going into my new workspace, and I'm giving this new space to my partner, girlfriend, and it's going to become her laboratory, and I'm gonna move next door here for my little zone. But so this is one of the last uh soirees, one of the last podcasts that'll probably be in this room, of which I've done hundreds. But
I
yeah,
am
it's
honored. I am honored to get to sort of. I'm not christening the new space,
yeah,
but
I don't know,
I'm making the
unchristened.
most of this place, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Now you mentioned Cosmic Lion Productions, and so we should probably talk about what a Cosmic Lion is and how this has come to be.
Absolutely. The lion as a symbol has always been important to me. My grandparents loved the lion logo. I think they were in the Lions Club, which was like
Hmm.
a community organization. And so they had all these lions in their home. And I always loved cats. And then um just like Judaism, also the Lion of Judah is like a powerful symbol in that part of my culture. And
Hmm.
then, I can't hide from this in my past. I had dreadlocks and I was really into this hippie thing. And the
Yeah,
Lion of
yeah.
Judah was this thing that linked this Rastafarian culture with my Judaism.
That's cool. That's
I
cool.
went on a trip to the Bahamas, and we met this Rastafarian priest, and he talked to me all about how Judaism and Rastafarianism is linked through the line of Judah, and so then that became this like really powerful um, thing in my life.
Nice.
And then Cosmic is just like I love Star Trek and I love space, and I was brought up like my
Hmm.
dad is huge into space exploration. It's just this thing, and it just kind of clicked with me one day. I think I there was a there's another band that I liked called Sound Tribe Sector 9 STS 9, and they had a poster this one time, and it had a lion on it with this like galaxy in the forehead, this like swirling galaxy, and that
Nice.
just kind of clicked it all in my head, and I cut that out of that poster, and it became, and I was like, I am Cosmic Lion now. This happened in Burlington, Vermont. I was living there in the early 2000s, and it was right around this time where I got a job at this music venue called Nectar's, where my favorite band Fish played. And
Hmm.
I dropped out of college because I went on Fish tour. And so I was like, I need to make something out of this love of music that I have. And I want to make music my job. So I got a job at this place, Nectar's. I saw 365 concerts a year for about 6 years. And I moved up from dishwashing and security to production manager. And so I started booking nights. I started booking Monday nights there. And so I would have these events, and then I would also make comics. And so
Hmm.
I needed a production company name. And that was all while what I was just saying before, that Sector 9 poster and this thing. And I made this comic called Monkey Lion. And so the lion was always there. And I was huge on Bill Graham Productions Presents, which is
Uh-huh.
like, Bill Graham, another amazing Jewish person with this crazy life, who then went and started. There he is right there. Where's my
Cool.
go? Right there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
There he is. Anyway, and so he did all the like Fillmore and Winterland and Grateful Dead and the band and all these amazing concerts as Bill Graham Productions Presents.
Hmm.
So I was
Hmm.
like Cosmic Lion Productions Presents, which is what I did all those shows as in Burlington. I would go across the street to Kinko's, and I would photocopy my notebooks and my drawings and all these things, and it would be music and comic book release party every time.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I
Nice.
really wanted to do live art all the time because I went to a few of these live art jams that Jim Mahfood had, and he was always like my favorite artist, and he was
Yeah.
so cool, and he did all this cool shit, and he made comics like super cool, and hip hop funk, visual funk, his podcast. And so I was like, oh my God, yeah, I got to do live art. So I was trying to do like Jim, and every interview I do, I shout out Jim because he was such a cool creator to like want to be like when I was growing up, I felt like.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
is, and
He
he
is a
is. And
cool
now
guy.
he's like a
Very cool guy.
friend. Yeah, and I consider him a friend. I think he would agree. So it's been a great journey, and then so that just became the Cosmic Lion thing. And then that grew into me publishing my own books, Monkey Lion, the world's only comic about an intergalactic Afro funk band on tour through the galaxy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Of course, as you do. And which was kind of like this like Ninja Turtles, Star Trek, Spinal Tap kind of thing that I thought, because then I tour managed a band on two national tours. So I thought this is like something that I can bring all this stuff together and create my comic. And that was Cosmic Lion for the first 10 years. And then once I got hooked up with uh once I started with a friend, Sasha, the cartoonist kayfabe ringside seats Facebook group.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, well, I guess even before that, I found that through Facebook groups I could meet a lot of people, and cool and interesting people. And so I met a lot of people through the band Ween
Hmm.
fan group. I'm a big fan of Ween. So then I did 6 issues of a Ween zine under Cosmic Lion. And then I got into a Turtles group, and we did 2 issues of like a Turtle zine. And then that's when Cartoonist Kayfabe came into my life, and I was like, dude, this is perfect. This is the next step. Like, let's do Wizard. And then
Yeah.
so I wanted to start that group. I messaged them, and they're like, someone already did it yesterday. Someone started it yesterday. And I was like,
Wow.
son of a bitch. But then I messaged Sasha, and we got together, and I and it became what it became. And then we did all the stuff through then. And through that, I met all these people. And that's when it turned from just me doing my own stuff and publishing my own work to being like, look at all these people that I can help get their books out. And so
Mm-hmm.
then it just started with Wizard. And then um, I honestly, I can't remember what the first other person's book was. Maybe it was Space Knights, or maybe it was Relic Hunter. I can't
Hmm.
remember,
Hmm.
but there's all these books now. That's crazy. I can't remember that. It was only a few years ago. I think
You're
maybe
a
it was
busy
Ghost
person.
Agents. I know. Maybe it was Ghost Agents, So, but now we have all these amazing books, and especially Ghost Agents. We've made 5 books with the sixth one at the printer now.
Hmm.
Space
Hmm.
Knights 2 is coming out, Relic Hunter 2. We've got all these amazing this what I call the galaxy of artists, the Cosmic
Yeah.
Lion family of artists. So it's grown exponentially, and now it's like just growing bigger and bigger. And you know, yesterday I had a meeting that I can't talk about yet, but of
Those
who it
are
is.
always exciting.
Definitely, it's definitely the biggest one. It's definitely the biggest confluence of like the music and the comics that I've wanted to do. It's like someone that I truly respect, and they loved Wizard, and so like this is like things are moving along in this amazing way. And so, man, I can't
Cool.
help but
Cool.
yeah, I owe it all to the Cosmic Lion out there.
Well, you also have, I think it's Weird Myths.
Weird Myths,
Yeah.
beautiful book
Frankie
by
Boy Monster.
Frankie Boy Monster. Yeah, the Wunderkind of Morgan Herron, the
Yeah.
college freshman who just blew me away with this different art style. And like that's what I look for when I'm looking for artists for Cosmic Lion. I look for something different and something new, a
Hmm.
different way of looking at the comics as a medium. Like, I don't want anything to do with like house style. I don't want anything to do with, man versus zombie,
Right. Right.
or you know, Wild West gunslinger. Now this isn't to say that someone couldn't come along and blow my mind with that. They absolutely could, and I want that. But like I just don't. I just am looking for something different
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
an interesting art style. And it probably stems from Mahfood and his crazy art style, the Turtles, and all the different art styles. Like I love the Ninja Turtle. That's so big in my life, and that is a comic that truly shows you how diverse a character or characters can be. And they had all these different artists tackle it and all these amazing views. And that made me just always want to see characters in different ways. Or like
Yeah.
X-Men, all the different outfits they have. And even moving forward, like into Grendel, which is something I love now. And
Hmm.
Grendel Tales, there's all these different Grendels. And you did a great interview with Matt, and
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
that was a good one. But so that's what I look for. If I can scoot over here to the shelf, we've
By
got
all means.
Ghost Agents, of course, had 2 amazing things, and Rocco is just like a visionary creator with this stuff, and he wanted the Treasury editions on newsprint, and so that
Hmm.
meant I had to find out how to do that, and with each thing, I just am like, yeah, I can do that, yeah, I can do that, but I don't know how, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Tony Wolf, another guy who, oh man,
Love
this book
that.
is great. And, who just his life in New York, all these different types of things, different viewpoints, different stories to tell.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
like I love this kind of stuff too. Like, I loved Joe Matt's work, and any slice of life kind of stuff like that. Paraphrenic is another big
Hmm.
one.
Hmm.
Has a
Hmm.
really I love the story about this book. I've told it a million times, but I'll tell it a million more.
By all
Is
means.
that the creator Gary Kramer? He worked at the comic shop that was the comic shop in Cumberland. After the book center, there was another place in LaVale called the Paperback Exchange, and that's where I would go. And they had the back issue bin, and they had the new books, and when I started getting into X-Men and Image and stuff, the
Hmm.
the book
Hmm.
center, which was a bookstore, didn't get all the titles. And so Gary worked there, and he had his book, which was just like a super indie book, 8.5 by 11 paper, stapled together. And it was the first indie book that I ever saw or looked at. And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is like the start of some, and it was
Yeah.
in the like locked drawer of my desk with this other Marvel book I bought. I think it was called Black Wolf or something like that. It had
Mhm.
the like embossed cover, and I was like, these are the ones that are gonna put me through college, you
Right.
know. And so then recently I was cleaning out my room. It's in Cumberland. It's about to become my niece's room when she comes to visit. So I was taking everything out, and I found the book. I found that book. And I was like, dude, I wonder where this guy is.
Yeah.
And the glories of Facebook, I just found him. He's working on a new book. He wants to put out a new book. And I was like, dude, we've got to work together. And it's just a glorious, like, you know, undead Pander Brothers meets Beetlejuice meets just Tim Burton. It's another amazing comic that I love. And so not only did we have this connection, but he had like this amazing style and you know, so that's just I don't know. That's what I look for and what I want to make these Cosmic Lion books really stand out and really be something that you don't see from other publishers.
Love that. I love that. And I mean, that just speaks to the possibilities of comics, which is something I'm all about on here. The different takes, the fresh takes that you can bring, and still the possibilities, because we've not seen everything in comics
No,
by any
we
means.
never will.
No,
We never
no.
will.
Very
It's that
exciting
that is
stuff.
what's so cool. And each new person, that's again too why I loved working with Morgan. And when we started working with Kevin Catalan from Space Knights, he was like young too and really wanting to do some amazing stuff. And he did number one, and this was the one of one handmade Kevin Catalan
Oh
zine
wow.
that he made. And this is, he printed this all his own because we wanted to get the 3-page fold out on this giant one.
Hmm.
Ah, and we were working with Comics Wellspring, and we were like, "What's the biggest you can print? We want the biggest you can possibly print."
Nice.
Oh man! After Kevin decided, oh my God, I ripped the whole cover. That's all right. That's all right. It gives it a little.
Yeah, a little
Kevin, don't
extra.
look. I'm sorry, bud. But
We'll delete that
no.
part. We'll
Okay.
just
And I just love that people want to do different stuff like that. And Kev came up with that. And oh my gosh. I, I just get really excited about all these comics, and I'm still excited about all the comics we put out.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
even one of the
as you
first ones
should
we
be.
did, yeah, exactly. One of the first ones we did was I think actually for Babe Lord, which is a Friends band, and it had a shiny cover and a fold out, and every time people see it at the booth, they're almost always like, "Let's do it. I want that." She's
Hmm.
an intergalactic space princess who crash landed here on Earth. She's a real band in LA, and they have music. So it's like it calls back again to the music.
Yes, absolutely. That link between music and comics, it is real.
My
It is
favorite,
real.
my favorite thing.
Yeah. So if I'm a listener out there and I want to get my hands on the work, or maybe even send you something that could blow your mind,
Absolutely.
how would I go about doing those two things?
You just go to cosmiclionproductions.com, and
Hmm.
there you can click on the comic shop, and at the top we have a little swiper. We're working on a new form, me and Rocco's been helping with stuff. So at the top you can flip through and see all the different brands we have, or you can scroll down in the comic shop and check everything out. If you want to submit something, at the bottom of the homepage there's a submit page, a submit thing, or you can, I have a simple email address. While long, it's still simple: Eli at cosmiclionproductions.com. And you can send me anything there. Everything's up in the store. You can talk to me about if you want commissions from some of the guys, except for Kevin, because he's represented now by another art dealer. That's
Yes.
yes. So you'll have to speak with him about that.
Cool.
I can't
Cool.
remember what they're called. That's stupid. It's not Felix. It's the other one. Um,
Sorry.
something.
We'll fact check it. We'll fact
Yeah,
check
we'll
it.
put it in the comments below.
That's right. That's right. Well, have we missed anything in the interview that you want to make sure to share before we close out?
Yeah, additional to the comics, I do podcast as well. I started Cosmic Lion Radio probably about 10 years ago too, back in the days when you said I do a podcast and people are like, "What's a podcast? I've never
Mm.
heard."
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so Cosmic Lion Radio is kind of my vintage one where I did great interviews with music and comics people, and then we build a mixtape with some of their favorite music. So it's a little bit music, a little bit interview. Great ones on there with like Mike Allred, Matt Wagner, um, Wayne Ewing, who was Hunter Thompson's road manager.
Wow.
Some, Frank Lisiandro, a film school compatriot of Jim Morrison and Ray Manzarek, who was one of the cameramen at the Live at the Hollywood Bowl concert of the Doors. Like, so there's all this different stuff that I did on that. I'm very proud of the work I did there. And I do about one episode a year now, but
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah. You have other things.
That's right. I got the Devil in Detail, which is the most up-to-date podcast that are doing, which is Grendel read through podcast every issue of Grendel. And then after we finish up stuff, we interview the creative teams, and we've had like we had Joe Matt on there and Tim Sale before they both passed. Bless
Mm.
up both those two amazing creators. Matt's been on a ton of times, and Brennan, Diana Schutz, the Pander Bros, John K. Snyder, and Jay Geldof. And so we kind of try to hit up all the people of the comics that we just read. And we're up to Four Devils, One Hell right now. So we're doing that. We're hoping to get Teddy Christensen back on. He was in on one with earlier. And so I really like what we're doing on the Grandlecast too with my friend Ben Granoff, another creator. And
Yeah.
yeah, just Cosmic Lion Productions. There's always new books coming out. We got Death Slinger coming up with Ben Perkins and Shane. I have a subscription model that I'm playing with. It's a 4 issue subscription monthly with 3 issues it's 4 issues, all written and drawn by Matt Howarth, who you might recognize from Savage Henry back in the day, those
Hmm.
annoying Post Bros, couple Turtles issues. We have 3 issues of a lost story from the 90s, and then the fourth issue in the subscription is a brand new tale of his. And we're probably going to start that in February or March. So that's going to be huge. And then we've got a manga coming up that we're doing that I haven't really talked about, and just a ton of stuff. So we're trying to cover all the bases. And then Indie Comic Creator Con IC3 is March 9th in New Haven, Connecticut, if you're on the East Coast. Tons of people in the Cosmic Lion family and all these amazing indie creators. And headlining it, we have Ken Landgraf, and we have a Turtles 40th anniversary panel with Jim Lawson and Eric Talbot, two of my favorite Turtles creators. So that's going to be huge, and I'm going to be there with a bunch of amazing creators. And
Very
yeah,
cool.
no, good Lord. Wow.
Lots on the horizon.
So
Yeah.
much fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the passion comes through, the energy comes through. I love it. And Eli, glad to have you back on anytime. Glad to feature creators from the group and all of those things. So thank you for a great talk.
Absolutely, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anytime.